I love Birmingham. I am deeply passionate about this place. I have a deep affection for her, for the people of the city. And if there is one thing, if I get lucky today, and there is one thing that I can do is hopefully convince somebody to start looking at Birmingham differently, to start looking at Birmingham, warts and all, but for her potential, for her possibility. Now, the years in college that I remember, I didn't like just talking and not getting feedback. So hopefully you all will kind of join me in on this. We live, no. We got to do that one again now. Come on. We live in Birmingham, one of the best, most innovative, creative, and eventful cities in the world. I promise you I'll remember that before I got on stage. Now, the thing I ask myself a lot is, why not here? And you would think somebody who asked you all to repeat these things would have had a love for Birmingham as far back as he could remember. But my deepest and earliest childhood memories are actually of Atlanta. And my mom and I used to go there on what seemed like a weekly basis. That was our escape. That was our bonding time. And there was a building right before you got to Atlanta. It was on the left-hand side, about 20. Cylindrical building, stubby, glass exterior, nothing really remarkable about it. But every time I saw that building, I was flooded with this sense of enjoyment and excitement, because that was my mental mile marker, and I knew that we were almost there and that we were about to have a great time. But the more and more I started coming back to Birmingham, I found myself asking, why do I have to go to Atlanta to have such a good time? Why do I have to go to Atlanta to enjoy these things? Why do I have to go to Atlanta to do this with my mom? And instead of being pulled closer to Atlanta to be able to do that, I started investigating and falling in love with Birmingham. And the more I thought about it and the more I researched it, I realized that Birmingham is really a monumental city. I really do mean that when I say it's one of the best cities in the world. Pardon the hyperbole, but it's almost a divine, a destined city. When you just think about it from a geographical standpoint, nowhere else in the world do the three main ingredients for creating steel exist in such close proximity. No other city but Birmingham. And that discovery led to Birmingham being built up in a marshy, forgotten swampland where two rail lines intersected around an area that was based on agrarian culture, agrarian economy. It was completely different. We had an influx of immigrants. There's actually a place called Little Italy in Inslee. You can put it in Google right now and it'll still go to that location. An influx of Germans, of Jews, everybody, African Americans. It really was a melting pot. That's not to say that everything was rosy and people were walking, skipping hands together. We had our problems, but Birmingham from the beginning was a different city. This was the first city of the New South. We fell on hard times. Early on, Birmingham had to prove how tough it was. It had to prove it was worth being a city. 2 years after its founding, a cholera epidemic broke out, wiped half of the population away. Birmingham was faced with its own extinction. A few generations later, the Great Depression happened, and it impacted Birmingham so hard it prompted FDR to say that this was the worst hit town in the country. But yet we survived, we thrived, and here we are today. To me, that is a significant event. And people see images like this. This is LBJ signing the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And we all know, we're all familiar with the events that led up to this monumental change. But where a lot of people see shame, where a lot of people say, well, why are you picking at scabs? To me, that is a sense of pride. You can't export that. That is Birmingham. Another city cannot lay claim to the things that we did. I take immense pride in knowing that Birmingham changed not only the state, not only the nation, but the world. We are a better society for what happened not even a few miles from here. That's why I am so impassioned about Birmingham. And now you look at us now, elected the first African-American mayor, not even a generation removed from the passage of that bill, and now We're not only a regional hub, but a national hub in many respects for healthcare, for construction, for engineering, for banking. So many things that Birmingham has going for itself. And now we find ourselves on the precipice of another opportunity as globally the world goes through a paradigm shift in regards to transit, in regards to energy, in regards to the built environment, how we interact. Birmingham is at a unique position. To me, that is a special city. It's one of significance. It is an eventful city, and that doesn't have to necessarily mean events that shape national and world policy, but it can be events that shape our communities, that impact our neighborhoods. Now, I can easily say we have all of these great things going on, but there are a lot of people who don't have a connection. You cannot get somebody to buy into the idea that Birmingham is this great city and we have national and international prominence if they don't even care about it locally. If they don't even care about the festivals and the events and all of these things that we have that comprise Birmingham, there's a disconnect there. They don't have a connection to it. Birmingham can have global significance. And I think the only way we can do that to let them know that we have global significance is that we have local significance as well. 2 years ago, I was given the tremendous honor of serving on Art Walk as the volunteer coordinator. And during those 2 years, I forged incredible friendships, people who probably more passionate than me about Birmingham. And while I've only been on it for 2 years, it's been around for 10. And I actually tried to get a picture of what the Loft District looked like before Art Walk and before people had a reason to go downtown. It was so unremarkable and forgettable, I couldn't even find any. Nobody bothered to go down there. No criminals, no bums. It was just forgotten about place. That is bad when bums don't even want to go there. So 10 years ago, no pictures, but now you see events like this, and you see just this incredible street life, just teeming with energy and excitement. And that's not to say that there weren't other factors that contributed to downtown's resurgence, especially the Loft District. But it's also proper for us to recognize the impact that these small events, these local events play, because they give us an opportunity to meet one another, to connect with one another, and from there, synergy can flourish. I also served with the Birmingham Arts and Music Festival. This is only in its second year, and it was another tremendous opportunity. And now we have people coming from all over the region just to hear local acts. 200 performances and acts over 20 plus venues in and around downtown in just its second year. We have wonderful things going on in this city. A lot of things to connect people, whether it's your love of music, whether it's your love of art. We have things that we can use to build common ground. Sidewalk Moving Picture Festival. And this is one that I regret to say that it took me a long time to get out there for, but it is a fantastic addition to Birmingham. If you've ever been down there, the old theater district, there's an energy that you have to be there to experience. I was actually looking for quotes and basically sayings of what other people had to say about Birmingham. Because if you want to hear something bad about Birmingham, ask a native. They'll spit it out to you like that. But it's always, I'm always just mystified when other people come who haven't been inundated with so much negativity. And I'm sure I'm speaking to the choir here. I know you all don't do that. But to the people outside who are not here, who speak those things. But this quote stood out to me. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I've even heard from several folks since then, and it's always the same. Man, being home sucks. I wish I were back in Birmingham. So don't just take it from me. Find anyone else that has been to Sidewalk, and you'll hear nothing but praises. We need people like that in Birmingham, speaking like that about the events that we have. Now, I can go on and on about the different things that we have in Birmingham, whether that be Art on the Rocks or crawfish, Schaefer crawfish, boil, or Doodah Day, or the Greek Food Festival, Breaking Bread, which is actually going on tomorrow, shameless plug. So I like food, apologies. But I could easily talk about all of these things, but it takes you actually getting out there to see it, because anybody can go online and figure out what's going on in Birmingham. It is not for a lack of information that we don't do these things. And these are the important things because they build a sense of community. Those events, they help us to weave our social fabric because we're going because we have something in common. I like to eat. As you can kind of see, the light's probably unflattering right now. Some people love art. Some people love music. And it's those small things that allow us the opportunity to connect with one another that gives Birmingham, I believe, its best chance to reach another level of greatness. Now, we're here at TEDx, and it's supposed to be about ideas worth spreading. Like I said, I don't want to just sit there and tell you these events that are going on. So if we can have one thing, let's commit to an idea of a better Birmingham. Let's commit to an idea that we have a Birmingham that's worth exploring, that is worth telling other people about. So if you are, this is the challenge that I issue to you all. It's something simple. It doesn't take a lot of time, but commit to explore Birmingham. Explore Birmingham, hashtag it and everything. So if you go to a new event, do something that you have never done before. Go to a new restaurant, try some exotic food. If you don't like sushi, I think that's sad if you don't, but if you don't like sushi, try sushi. Something simple. If you've never been to one of the art festivals, now is a perfect opportunity. Whatever you do that is new to you, that expands your understanding and your appreciation of Birmingham, tag it. Do whatever you want to. If it falls on its place, cool. If this flourishes into something, even better. And I don't care where you are. Black folks go to a Tea Party rally. White folks go to the Magic City Classic. Well, I don't care. The point is to do something different. And when you go, I hope to see y'all out because it's coming up then. If you go, don't fall into the same routine. Talk to people who might not look like you. Talk to people who are not from your suburb. Talk to people who don't necessarily talk like you. But make an effort to find some kind of common ground and something that is going to connect us all as Birminghamians. Thank you.